papers, long exams, reports, group presentations, deadlines, deadlines, and more deadlines equals one stressful day. Everyday stress can cause wear and tear on a person's body. It depends on how we react to difficult problems. 4 universities, with several other colleges in one small suburban city by the sea.
Kids who live in different places, though, may face different kinds of stressors. Some adolescents live in neighborhoods with high rates of crime and violence. Others live in isolated rural areas. Obviously, they have different kinds of problems. Like if you compare Dumaguete with big cities like Manila, surely we have different kinds of stressors.
Because we spend most of our time in school, we wanted to explore the things that commonly stress students out.
I'm a very competitive person.
I always aim for a 4.
To make it more interesting, we compared stressors of 2 very different people, aiming for one goal: academic excellence.
I could say that I am a bit pressured by my academics because I'm a very competitive person, and one thing that really makes me happy is if I really do well in my academics. So even with my extracurricular activities, I really try my best to be on top.
If it's a science subject or if it's something that has to do with my field, I really challenge myself to get a 4. If you're talking about my field like physics, math, or like the sciences, I actually love those academic portions of my life, so I don't get stressed by them. But I don't like pol sci, English, basta anything not involving the sciences. I'm actually a bit problematic about them.
Marvin and Stacy are junior students from the same university. Both hold the highest average in their own courses. But the stories behind their success are 2 very different ones.
Other things that stresses me out. First of all, kanang money. Kasi I'm from a poor family and I'm just a scholar. So sometimes my father, he doesn't, wala siya trabaho sometimes, and if ever he has one, mo earn lang siya mga 120 to 150 per day, and then igoraya palit og NFA rice. So sometimes kanang we have projects, we have things to buy and things to gastuan namo, and then I don't have money in my wallet, so maka-stress jud siya ba. I don't know where to get other source of money. I'm a recipient of Bob and Mita Siliman scholarship, and then I'm also enjoying the DOST scholarship. And then there was this moment when the head of the scholarship division told me that they don't want their recipients to be enjoying other scholarships. So the head told me I have to choose between Bob and Mita Siliman or DOST. But if I choose DOST, DOST only gives 6,000 for the tuition, and we're paying like mga 30,000. So I can't afford to pay the rest. But if I'll choose Bob and Mita, they will pay for the tuition, pero walay allowance. And then if ever I choose Bob and Mita, ang DOST, I would have to refund everything that they gave me from first year up to atong a point, which is mga first sem daw ito sa third year. So di po na kaya. So problema kay ko, either way magkalisod ba.
I think one of the biggest problem that I encountered ever since that would have affected my performance in my studies would have to be my own attitude towards myself. Because sometimes I tend to take things too seriously that I already forget the fun part of it. And I guess that's one thing that elicits my being discontent with when it comes to certain situations and when it comes to the things that I already have.
Adolescents, they have a very creative way of coping with stress. There are two major ones, which are kind of the same as the way adults also cope with stress. And one way is problem solving. This involves trying to deal with the problem by changing the situation or getting rid of the problem.
Fortunately, wala po siya ni-affect sa akong studies kay murag ni write mo og letter nga nihanyo ko nga munig kana mahitabo murag I can't give up any of the two. Then murag nakasabot ra man pud sila so na retain ra nako.
Another way of handling stress that is commonly used by adolescents is also managing emotions. This involves handling thoughts and feelings caused by the problem.
I've been able to prove this ever since high school, that when it comes to studying, when it comes to being in school, and it's the same thing when it comes to going through your extracurricular activities. It's actually the more you struggle, the more you sink. So the trick there is always to relax and to have fun and to trust yourself.
Their coping mechanisms of adolescents may not be the same as how adults cope. Remember that one is that they consider a pile of events as very hard for them to cope with. Help them and encourage them that that's not the end of the road after all, for them to have hope that there will be a better life in spite of the so many stressors.
Just like change, stress is inevitable, but being miserable is a choice. Don't let stress conquer you.
Ang Kabataan Express ay hatid sa inyo ng UNICEF.